Hi there again. Dr. Z here, greeting you in light, love, peace, and harmony. Welcome to day 3 of our 7-day Lunch and Learn video series for CEOs and HR directors. And again, I am sharing some best practices and solutions from decades of experience turning around disengaged teams and organizations. And I'm going to give you some practical steps that you can take immediately to take some action today. So today we're going to talk about 7 causes of toxicity and turnover in the workplace. Now here's the picture. There are 5 generations of workers in the workforce today. You got your traditional generation, your baby boomers, your Generation X, your millennials, and Generation Y. And it seems like all of us are speaking different languages because we have different experiences growing up in different eras. And now you add the diversities of ethnicity and national origin and age and gender, religion, sexual orientation, languages. Isn't it easy to see why there could be a lot of cultural breakdowns and people not feeling included and respected? Easy to see, right? Yes, thank you. So the inability to communicate and get to shared understanding creates this type of environment where people don't feel that they're empowered and they're respected. So cultural breakdowns become the first cause of toxicity and turnover. The second cause is a lack of communication. Have you ever seen how differences in values, beliefs, perceptions, languages, and interpretations leads to miscommunication, misunderstandings, and missed opportunities? Have you ever seen that? Of course, yes. Happens every day, it seems. And then at the interpersonal level, we all have different learning styles. And those learning style preferences affect how we communicate, how we trust, how we work in teams, how we make decisions and solve problems. And some people they like to learn by observing and watching. Others like to learn by taking action and experimenting. But those folks can look at the same situation and come up with different conclusions because they have a different preference. It's like they're looking at the world through different windows, so they don't see the same thing. And that definitely limits shared understanding and communication. The third cause is absence of trust. Big foundation in relationships and in business. When there's no trust, there's no respect. When there's no respect, there's no empowerment. Distrust breeds fear and unhealthy competition. So people will leave organizations where they don't feel respected and there's no trust and they don't feel like they can grow. 2 of the biggest trust builders are vulnerability and integrity. Being vulnerable, being willing to say, hey, I made a mistake, my bad, as they say, but taking responsibility for that. Being willing to ask for help. When we're in our selfish competitive mode, we don't ask people for help. And that definitely creates problems in the team. And integrity is keeping your word. And it's with simple things. Being on time for meetings is integrity. How often have you seen people, or maybe done yourself? I know I've done it. I say, well, I'm not going to eat these cookies today. I'm not going to eat sweets today. And then if I break down and I don't keep my word with myself, then that becomes a lack of trust that I'm developing. I can't trust myself to keep my word. And when that happens and becomes habitual, if people don't trust themselves, it's going to be hard for them to trust others. The number 4 is the fear of conflict. When there's not trust, then we won't deal with conflict in a healthy way. Conflict can definitely be healthy, although many of us avoid it because we think it's negative. So there's a value in conflicting views. We have to establish that in order to get rid of toxicity, establishing trust and establishing the ability to deal with conflict. Because when we don't deal with conflict, then that leads to the 5th cause of toxicity and turnover, which is lack of commitment. obviously commitments required to achieve. But without it, people will end up doing mediocre work and getting poor results. Number 6 is avoiding accountability. Without trust, healthy conflict, and commitment, then surely accountability is going to wane. We've got to expect certain things and then inspect what we expect. And accountability is solved really by just asking what happened in the situation. Why did such and such not occur? And then come up with ways to help and get to some solutions. Otherwise, nothing will get accomplished if there's no accountability. And number 7 is ignoring results. People want to feel that they're making a difference in the world, and they're making a difference for somebody and need to know who they're making a difference for. So when a team is dysfunctional, then fear, lack, avoidance prevents focusing on the details and the results. Out of sight, out of mind. So here's a call to action for you today. If you want to get a hold on these issues, then you and your team can examine where are the results lacking this quarter, this month, this week, and then reverse the order of these causes and see, okay, where's accountability lacking? Because the results are going to come from us being accountable. And once you identify where accountability is lacking, look and see where commitment is waning. And then identify where there's some interpersonal or intrapersonal conflict that's not being addressed. Where is the conflict not being addressed? And then lastly, identify ways to increase the trust. If you start at the top and you go backwards, and then you come from the trust up to conflict, up to commitment, accountability, and results, you're going to see a big change. So I hope you get some benefit from these ideas. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be here for the next 3 days, 4 days. And educating on how you and your team can engage to reset happiness in the workplace. Thank you. Join us tomorrow. Join me tomorrow. I'll be here during your lunchtime. You can turn on the video. And I'm going to talk about the 3 root causes of job misery. You definitely want to tune in because this is huge. And we're going to give you some solutions so that people cannot be so miserable at work. They can be happier and get more engaged, be more productive, and make more money. Thank you very much.